All right, guys, so I regret to inform you that it happened. We have a pretty bad take from AOC here that I want to walk you through. So this is in Axios. Exclusive. AOC says Jeffries, primary challenge, not a good idea. Not a good idea. So Hakeem Jeffries just got a primary challenge, and this was her reaction. Let's read through some of it before I react here. Representative AOC signaled in an interview with Axios on Monday that she would not support New York City Council member Chi Ase in a primary challenge against House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Ocasio-Cortez is one of several high-profile progressives distancing from Ase's potential run, arguing that it is a distraction from New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani's victory. Progressive Change Campaign Committee head Adam Green told Politico, quote, "It is not the right moment to launch a primary challenge against Hakeem Jeffries." When is the right moment, by the way? Can you answer that for me? When would be the right moment to go after a leader who's objectively a weak and bad leader, who's objectively too pro-corporate, who takes a tremendous amount of money from AIPAC in the midst of an Israeli genocide and still defends them after they bomb schools and hospitals? When is the right moment? Can you answer that for me? Mamdani also appeared to discourage his fellow Democratic Socialists of America member on Monday. Quote, "I believe that there are many ways right here in New York City to both deliver on an affordability agenda and take on the authoritarian administration in the White House," Mamdani told reporters of Ase. Ocasio-Cortez told Axios during a brief interview at the U.S. Capitol that she was not aware that Ase was challenging Jeffries, but she added, "I certainly don't think a primary challenge to the leader is a good idea right now." Ocasio demurred on other races, declining to weigh in on whether she would support New York City Comptroller Brad Lander if he runs against Representative Dan Goldman. Ase filed paperwork with the Federal Election Commission on Monday to run for Jeffries' district, which covers portions of Brooklyn. He said in a statement he is exploring a run because Democratic leadership is not only failing to effectively fight back against Donald Trump, they have also failed to deliver a vision that we can all believe in. Jeffries, who had previously repeatedly dismissed the notion of an Ase primary challenge, told reporters at a press conference Monday, "Come on in, the water is warm." So here's why this is disappointing. This guy who's running against Hakeem Jeffries, Zohran, that was you. That was you. You were running against the golden child. You were running against the establishment's man. You were running against Andrew Cuomo. You also ran against, Eric Adams, for example. So with this sort of mindset that you're now applying to this guy, people applied it to you and they said, what are you doing? We already have our candidates. We already have Eric Adams. We already have Andrew Cuomo. They represent the Democratic brand. Just let them cook. But you said, no, it's not good enough. They're not good enough. They don't fight Trump. They don't deliver on actual leftist values. We're going to stand up and actually represent something, and we're going to change the Democratic Party, and we're going to have our Democratic Tea Party moment. And so people said that about you, right? But you didn't listen to them, and then you went on to win. AOC, this was you. You were this guy, except you did it against Joe Crowley, who was next in line to be a Democratic leader, and you beat him, and I'm fucking happy that you did. Now, look, I get it. Some people will say, well, steelman their argument. Okay, to steelman their argument, they feel like in order to get any of our agenda done, we need the buy-in from the more centristy of the people from within our coalition, from within our caucus, from within our party. So they can't feel like we're their enemy as we're trying to get stuff done with them right now. And so basically, the argument is hey, I think we can convince Jeffries and others to go along with our agenda, but he's only going to do that if I show support for him over the person fucking running against him, right? That's the mindset. Here's why that falls apart, though. AOC is definitely either going to run for the Senate or run for president. So you're not even going to be in the House that much longer. You're not. So why not just tell the truth? Why not just say, this guy sucks at fighting Trump? Why not just say he's bought by fucking AIPAC and it's time to have a real Democratic Tea Party and have a bunch of AOCs and Zohran Mamdanis get elected? Why not just tell the truth? Look, I get it. She's been attacked by the establishment Democrats before, and that, that was a trying time for her. But this, if there was ever the moment, this is the moment. This is the Democratic Tea Party. And by the way, you also just could have said nothing, right? You also just could have said, I'm not commenting on that race. You could have done that. You could have said, I'm not going to tip the scales in favor of the shitty fucking Democratic leader who cucks himself to Trump and who doesn't know how to fight and who's sold out to fucking AIPAC. It's unbelievable. So it makes no sense for AOC. With Zohran, I would get it. When it comes to the other primary challengers to Hochul, that I get for Zohran to say, I'm not saying nothing because I got to work with Hochul. If Hochul's the one who ends up winning, my agenda goes through her. I need to work with her. I need to work through her. So I can't come out here and say, I'm going to endorse Hochul's primary challenger in the hopes that that person wins, and then, I'd have an easier time working with that person in the future. No, it's a 50% chance I will have to do my agenda through Hochul. So I get him saying that about Hochul, but this wasn't about Hochul, Zoran. This was about Hakeem Jeffries. And I don't get it. I have to say, I don't get it. For all the Democrats out there, stop being fucking cautious. Stop being fucking nice. We're sick of it. We had Antonio Delgado on Crystal Kyle and Friends the other day, and he's running against Hochul, and he's doing I'm the insurgent challenger thing, like I'm the next Zoran type thing. And when we asked him in our interview, hey, do you support Chuck Schumer stepping down? Should Chuck Schumer resign? He dodged. And it's like, I don't get it. Are you the insurgent or are you not? Are you the truth teller or are you not? If you are the insurgent, if you are the truth teller, you're supposed to say, absolutely, he should step down. He sucks at fighting Trump. He keeps fucking caving to Trump. He's way too pro-corporate. He's bought by AIPAC. So he's representing Israel as they do a genocide. We need real change. We need a Democratic Party that actually stands for some real ass shit. That is not Chuck Schumer. That is not Hakeem Jeffries. So it's disappointing. It's disappointing. Because, if Zoran had his way and AOC had her way, it's like, you want Zoran and AOC to be the only Zorans and AOCs in the fucking country. But we don't want that. We don't want the occasional token leftist. We want a giant block of you guys. That's what we want. We want people who are actually going to fight, who are actually going to bring about change, who are actually going to stand up to Israel, who are actually going to try to get us Medicare for all, who are actually going to not allow Trump to continue getting away with fascism all casually, willy-nilly, right? And so I get it. They're trying to, hey, we don't want to piss off the centrists because we have to work with the centrists. In some instances, that makes sense, like with Hochul and Zoran. I get that. But outside of Hochul and Zoran, you definitely could have said it. Zoran could have said it about Hakeem Jeffries, and AOC could have said it about Hakeem Jeffries. And if I'm missing something about why you don't want to cross him, then fucking come out and tell us what that is. What is it? Is he going to find a way to dock your small dollar donor money now if you come out and say, yeah, I want his opponent to win? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Tell me what I'm missing. Right? And they won't. They won't come out and say, here's actually why I said that. Here's the tactical, strategic reason why I said that. And so we're just left out here trying to fucking piece it together ourselves. But I'm tired of having to give the benefit of the doubt to people who should just be saying the obviously true things. You should be saying the obviously true thing, that Chuck Schumer sucks at this and Hakeem Jeffries sucks at this. They're pro-corporate. They're pro-AIPAC. They're not fighters. And that's got to stop. We need a new Democratic Party, right? Do you believe that or not? If you believe that, stand on business. Fucking 10 toes down. Yes. Anybody who's closer to my ideology, I will fucking fight for. I will be on their side. Or like I said, worst case scenario, just don't say dick. Just fucking, hey, I'm not saying anything about any of it. That's worst case scenario, but you didn't. This is basically like a low-key semi-endorsement of fucking Hakeem Jeffries is what it is. And you're basically saying, I'm cool with us continuing to get fucking rolled by Trump. That's what you're saying. If you want this guy to continue to be, I don't think it's the right time right now. When is the right time? When is the right time? Fascism is rapidly taking over the country. The warmongering is endless. The corruption is through the goddamn roof. Right now, we've seen plenty of evidence that the Tea Party is here for the left. You have Graham Plattner, who's leaning by 1 million against Janet Mills, the establishment choice. Zoran just won. If not now, when? When? Or are you saying we always and forever have to deal with the shitty Democrats, and more than that, not even try to get rid of them? It'd be one thing to say, we're always going to have some shitty Democrats. We always have to work with them to one extent or another. It just is what it is. Okay, it's a totally another thing to say, but let's not even try to get rid of the shitty Democrats with better Democrats. What the fuck is that? What is that? So, I'm just so sick of the caution. This is Democrat 101. It's the caution. I forget who said it, but somebody made the argument. I forget who it was. I really wish I could remember. But they made the point that, you have no idea how cautious Democrats are, even when it comes to the media. So, they'll have a meeting about what to do about a certain issue, and somebody will float something, and somebody will go, ooh, but that might get us, a bad article in CNN or the New York Times. And it's like, what do you think? It's fucking, 1958? Why are you acting like that's a good... I would rather there be 1,000 negative articles about you on Fox News than, nothing about you at all. And that's what they seem to want. I don't want any negative press. Let me just stay, hide from the world as a politician. What the fuck is that? No, there is no such thing as bad press in today's day and age. Have you not realized that yet? that you want Fox News coming after you. You want the right making you public enemy number one. You want to get attention no matter where the fuck it comes from. You want to drive the conversation where you want to drive the conversation. But they're scared. They're scared to do that. And this smells of the same thing to me. Like, you're afraid to just tell the truth and say it like it is. Hakeem Jeffries is not fucking ready for this moment. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. But there you have it. AOC, that's pretty disappointing. And look, with this cautious mindset, this is not a good harbinger of things to come. If you want to run for the Senate or you want to run for president, if this is the way you're answering questions, you're not going to succeed. To be fair, I think no matter what, she would beat Schumer if she ran for Senate and he was still running. He might retire, by the way. But that New York Senate seat, yeah, that could be hers for sure, right? But if you want to run for president, answers like this, bro, you got a long way to go, man. You got to be a lot more freewheeling. You got to be a lot more shooting from the hip. You got to be a lot more 10 toes down like, yeah, I just said that shit. It could be some wild ass shit, but I just said it and I'm rocking that shit. Like, come at me. I don't give a fuck. You got to do that. And if you don't, then, don't be disappointed when you flame out. It's very Elizabeth Warren-esque in a sense. Remember when she ran for president? Everybody thought like she was like a top tier contender when she jumped in. All of us did, including myself. But then she was just so cautious about everything. And it just failed, right? So this is cautious. This is cautious. We don't like this. We like courage. We like bravery. And that goes for Zoran too, man. That goes for Zoran too. I get it with Hochul, but for Hakeem Jeffries, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. So there you have it. Disappointing answer. And let's hope that's the last one. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.